It's with great sadness that I'm going to talk to you about the death of a genius, of a great man, Brian Wilson. We lost him way too early. Never was it going to be a good time to lose him. And I think that I remember feeling surprised that he even got to his 50s way back. That's how long I've been a fan. I've been a fan for longer than that, actually. Since the 80s, I've been listening to his music, getting tapes of theirs from the library. This time, it was when I was watching the movie Teen Wolf in 1985, and I was with a friend, and I said, I nearly fainted when I heard that sound. I go, who is that? Who is that? And he said, it's the Beach Boys. And I never forgot that moment. I was so curious and so inspired and so flabbergasted by that sound. Probably my favorite album, at least at the moment, of the Beach Boys is the Surf's Up album. And the masterpiece, Pet Sounds, is really worth listening to if you want to see and hear how Brian's mind worked, and also the birth of modern music and modern production techniques. It's all in this. If you can get the box set, it's even better. I've got the album too, just not here, but I proudly own the vinyl. And yeah, when I first heard it, I was shocked. Where's the fun and sun Beach Boys, you know? Yeah, here's a rare Australian edition of Smiley Smile. Another thing I love is the Smile album, and I have that on vinyl. Absolutely love the Smile album. And I watch it regularly watch the concert. It's their first album, Capital, original copy. And there you go. I love that. And they actually went and revisited this particular beach for their documentary, the Disney documentary in 2024. This was actually, can you believe it, a headline. Thank you for the good vibrations behind the rest of the world. So it should be on the 12th of June, but this is the 13th of June. So I'm thinking that the outpouring of grief is taking its time as other, well-known people are speaking about it and sharing their grief. The newspaper picked that up and rolled with it. So this is not on the day that he died, but the next day. And I'm sure there will be a commemorative concert and reunion and things like that. The Beach Boys are touring at the moment, and they're thinking of retitling that as a dedication to Brian Wilson. He's been called a visionary, a pioneer, a soul who's touched the hearts of generations. Obviously, yes. I think he's not one of the best, but the best of the best. Even Leonard Bernstein, one of the greatest classical composers of the 20th century, back in the 60s, said that his music was amongst the best and very poetic and beautiful. So, and he also got to hear a sneak peek of Smile all the way back in 1967, 37 years before the rest of the world could hear it. And he was very impressed and had him on his television program. Clearly not doing it for fame or money. I think the only thing that's kept him going is his music. He's lived through hell and back. His dad abused him, then his psychiatrist took advantage of him, and I think Brian called it mental torture, what he did to him, locking him up in the studio and not feeding him, not letting him go to sleep until there was some music was going to be made. So that was very hard for him. And he was single too at the time. He had met Melinda Ledbetter, but it was still a few more years until he'd marry her. He had to put the whole Eugene Landy saga behind him. A hard fight for him. And I think it was his music that kept him going. That kept him, not the fame or the money or anything like that. And what made Brian extraordinary wasn't just his genius, it was his vulnerability, for sure. For sure. He's very human, but he's also very much a genius. He's not like most people. And I think that's really telling in the music and everything. The one thing I'm going to miss about Brian is he made all of us better people and better artists. He made it okay to be imperfectly human. That's what I get from him. Like, we can't all be geniuses, but we should celebrate humanity more and not some kind of perfection that we're supposedly striving for all the time, and it's taking such a heavy toll on people, you know? It's okay to be imperfect. Another thing is, I love how the Beach Boys music isn't just a bunch of notes and words. It's really tuning us in to a place. It's tuning us in to a frequency, an alternative reality. And I think that's what the California myth is all about, and California sound. And yeah, it's like really, really good. Any sublime art can only hope to achieve that. But his work really achieves that in flying colors. Yes. So I'm going to miss this man dearly, and I really recommend this book because it's very good, very insightful about his life. About Pet Sounds, he said, I got a full vision out of it in the studio. Wow. So the way he created art was quite different to most people. He'd hear everything in his head, every note, even if it was in different keys, he didn't care. The way he heard it, that's the way he would make the wrecking crew play it, and the masterpiece speaks for itself. I was lucky enough to go and see him live, solo twice. I've seen the Beach Boys at least 3 times as well, but I've seen him about twice, and that was an incredible experience. My favourite album at the moment is Surf's Up. It generally fluctuates between Smile, Pet Sounds, this one. I also love the Today album. I think Today is very underrated. But Surf's Up is like, you haven't heard him like this, you know, until you really get deep. It's very postmodern, you know, you think, oh, it's another song about surfing, but actually it's not. It's an environmental song, and, well, Don't Go Near the Water. Sorry, the first song on this album, Don't Go Near the Water, is about don't go surfing, don't go having a good time, but think about what you're doing to the planet and the legacy that you're leaving onto this planet after you die. Long Promised Road is very evocative of fantastic times and family times and brotherly love, and unfulfilled promises that we all experience, disappointment and unfulfilled destinies and things like that. Take a Load Off Your Feet. Yeah, that's kind of going back to the sort of fun of the early 60s, but done in a very 70s way. Disney Girls, 1957. That's Bruce Johnston contribution. Brilliant Disney Girls. Student Demonstration Time. It's a cover of the old 50s song, done with a very hard rock sort of edge to it. And 1971 is sort of like the peak of student demonstration time, with the Vietnam War going strong. Actually, it's the original, I think, was called There's a Riot Going On, Cell Block Number 9, something like that. And Sly and the Family Stone also covered that song. But yeah, the Beach Boys really do a nice hard rocking version of it. Feel Flows is very, it was in the movie Almost Famous in 2000, and it's extremely beautiful and sublime, complicated. When I say complicated, they can do something very complicated within a frame of simplicity, and I think that's what real genius is about. Kind of Woodstock kind of bands and things like that. It's a Day in the Life of a Tree sounds also like it could have always come off the Smiley Smile album or something like. And the last two, wow, Till I Die and Surf's Up. Surf's Up is from Smile and completely sublime, and Till I Die is a very metaphysical song talking about death and about the meaning of being an insignificant little speck of dust on this planet, and how that, you know, we all feel that way at some point in time. Actually, with the song Surf's Up, there's a little bit of a review here. Mentally troubled in the late 60s, Brian wrote some darker, complex songs. This one is not about surfing. Classical composer Leonard Bernstein called it poetic, beautiful. Yeah, because that's the song that he had on his program back in early 1967 when the Beach Boys were set to release Smile, and it was quite hyped up, but then it didn't happen. So everybody at that point thought it's going to happen, and so Leonard Bernstein had it on as a preview. Didn't happen. It ended up being shelved for a number of reasons, which we won't go into now, but it was a very sad chapter in Brian's life. I think he was always destined to go down that way, really, because the art that he was connecting to was way ahead of the rest of the world. That's my review. Thank you very much for watching, and I will probably make another video. This is just super spur of the moment because he just died, or I've got the news anyway within the last 24 to 36 hours. So still taking it in. It's really hard to really fully accept it, even because he's always been part of me and always been like almost like a member of the family. Always felt good knowing that he's somewhere in the world doing something that I was always following what that was. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard, but anyway, I feel that their legacy is only just beginning to be appreciated, and so maybe there'll be more songs in concerts, in movies and whatnot. It's still part of our pop culture, so you can't erase that overnight. So that's set to stay there for a long, long time. All right, thank you, Brian, for all the wonderful vibes. Thank you so much. Up in heaven, you are just the best.